Ladies and gentlemen, it's Diego here in Bogota, Colombia, South America, way up in the Andes Mountains. And so I have decided to do a live stream surprise from Colombia to continue with yesterday because lots of folks had lots of questions from yesterday that I didn't get to. So let's go ahead and get started. Anyway, today was good, and I'm getting over this Bogota flu. Thank goodness. Whoa, that was tough. But you can actually understand me now when I speak, right? Dina, hi, Dina Ali, hi Diego. What's going on, Dina? How are you? And Jen S, congrats, Diego. Now Karina is with her family. Now Karina's family is all over South America. Okay, so she is basically hanging out with family. So I'm by myself, fending for myself here, way up in this apartment, and that's okay. I'm an old Navy guy. It's easy. I can do this. Michael Q, hi Diego, what's going on? Michael, Bill Kearney, hi Diego, just wanted to let you know my fiance was approved this past Tuesday morning from the U.S. Embassy in Rio de Janeiro in beautiful Brazil. Congratulations, Bill. So everybody say congratulations to Bill because this process is not easy, guys. It's not easy. I've been through this thing twice, plus a spousal visa. So I know what it's like to go through it. So we are here for you, Karina and I. Karina is with her brothers right now, hanging out. I don't know if she's watching, but probably she's spending time with her family. And Dina, Diego, for the interview, do I need to write a letter revalidating request for USA because it's expired? Yeah, you have to write a second letter of intent to get married. So does your beneficiary. So Dina, you gotta get your beneficiary to write a letter of intent to get married in his or her language of his country, unless he can speak English. If he speaks and reads and writes English, then write the second letter of intent to get married in English. If your beneficiary cannot read, write, or speak English, you got to write your second letter of intent to get married in the language of your country. Okay? And then get it translated into English. If you don't do that, you're going to get problems at the embassy interview. Now, there's a good possibility the U.S. Embassy officer will not ask you for that second letter of intent to get married, but you got to have it with you just in case. You never know. I mean, Karina, we had everything done. She's passed her K1 visa interview. She was about 10 minutes. They interrogated her, and she passed with flying colors. But we didn't have an Interpol document. Who the heck knew? We didn't know. We needed an Interpol police certificate. We had a Colombian police certificate. We had a Venezuelan police certificate. We didn't have an Interpol police certificate. So no problem. It's in process. And the Colombian police department emailed Karina today telling her it's in process. So we're just waiting for that. Then I'll upload it into the SEAC. I'll email a copy to the embassy, and probably I will get on the Transmillennial bus and take the copy personally to the embassy. So there's no way they can say we didn't get it. Congratulations, Bill, okay, on Rio. Michael is congratulating Bill, so is GNS. Danny, hi Diego, visa status changed to issued. What does it mean? Your visa was changed to issued, but you haven't your beneficiary hasn't done a face-to-face interview yet, right? They got to have the passport. Isn't your beneficiary from Iraq? Doesn't he have to give his Iraqi passport to the embassy in Dubai? The embassy in Dubai then takes the passport and then puts his, after the visa interview, puts his K1 visa in there. So I don't know why it's saying issued. I don't know why it says that, Dina. So, the MVC and the immigration people send out crazy emails and sometimes give bogus information. So what you got to think about is your beneficiary needs to have his passport in the embassy in Dubai with the visa interview. So, and then that's when you get the issue part. Bill, thanks everybody. So happy she'll be here in time for Christmas. Yes, yes, Bill, your family will be reunited for Christmas in the United States of America, our constitutional republic. Let me see. Bill said, congrats to you as well, Diego. Well, thanks, Bill. Yeah, we got a 221G for an Interpol certificate. I wasn't aware of this. It's no big deal. And we are already in contact with Interpol and the police. The Colombian police say it's in process. So we're just waiting on it. That's it. No big deal. Jin S. Diego, my fiance is here with me. Will she need a medical exam for the green card? Jin S., when your beneficiary arrived in the United States, did the Border Patrol officer give her back her sealed medical exam? Does she have a sealed medical exam? If the Border Patrol gave her back her sealed medical exam, no. Okay, you got to have a new medical exam. You must include a medical exam and your vaccination certificate for the green card process. If you do not include a medical exam in your green card application, Form 693, plus the vaccination certificate, plus your I-485 and your 484, you will have an RFE. The immigration officer will send you an RFE and say, where's the medical exam? So you got to get a medical exam done if you don't have a copy of it by an approved civil surgeon authorized by the U.S. State Department. Bye. Hi, Diego. How are you tomorrow? My interview. I'm a little nervous. Don't be nervous. But I hope first God all going will go well. Yeah, you're good. You are good. Relax. Dina, let me see here. For the I-134 2022, you need the tax return, the tax transcript, the W-2, and I would get a copy of the passport, proof of U.S. citizenship. But you got to have pay stubs, and you got to have a letter from your boss saying how much money you made. You may not need all that information, but I would get it just in case the immigration officer asked for it. I had no idea I needed an Interpol certificate. There's no mention of it anywhere. Well, there is now, and I'm going to make a video about it for you guys. John Wick, Diego, our I-129F form was approved. Okay, September 22nd. How long until we get our welcome letter? For the case number from the MVC, it's been 2 months. Okay, it's in the Dominican Republic. It's been 2 months. Send an inquiry to the NVC and ask for the case number and an invoice number. Just send in an inquiry. That will then automatically extend your NOA-2 letter to indefinite, okay, until you get your visa interview scheduled. Send an inquiry, ask for the case number. That extends your NOA-2. That extends the NOA-2 letter indefinitely until your visa interview, and then you will get an answer from the Dominican Republic. So it takes about 3 months, though, but another 30 days. It took us 119 days to get our welcome letter. John says, congratulations. Jacob Myers, good evening, Diego. Jacob, how are you? Are you in your hammock in Colorado hanging out with all those deer and rabbits in your backyard? What are you doing, Jacob? The Venus. Now, I like that. That's a neat name, the Venus. Hi, Diego. What about leaving the lawyer after NOA-2? Can she have any power on our case if we fire her? Okay. If you want to fire your attorney, you got to write a letter to USCIS and include a copy of your NOA-1 letter and your NOA-2 letter if you have it, and say that this person, write out the name of the attorney and the address and the phone number and say an email. This person is no longer representing me on my K-1 visa case, and she has been terminated as my attorney, and all future correspondence regarding my K-1 visa will be sent to me at my address here, and then put your address in the United States. It's easy to do. You got to put it in writing, though. Immigration will not terminate your immigration attorney unless you write a letter to them and put it in writing and sign it and date it and do what I just explained. Put your name, your address, your case number, copy of your NOA-1 letter, copy of your NOA-2 letter, the name of the attorney, the address and the office where the attorney works, the phone number, the email address of the attorney, and say, I don't want this person touching my case anymore. She is no longer representing me. All future correspondence regarding my K1 visa will come to me at this address. Boom, and you're done. And make a copy of that letter. Okay, you got to keep a copy of it. You got it? That's how you fire your attorney. Jen, okay, thank you so much. No problem. Dina, you must print this instruction page and then bring it to you to a consular interview. Okay, that sounds like the DS-160 confirmation page, along with the letter or email you received from the consular section. What do they mean? Okay, the US Embassy in Dubai sent you an email, and it lists the name of the travelers on the K1 visa. And it also lists you also need to print the K1 FTP email, which is for your medical exam for your beneficiary. So you scheduled the interview. Okay, Dina, you scheduled the interview in Dubai. That's good. Now, what you got to do is you got to print the welcome letter from the MVC. Okay, it's the K1 FTP letter email. If you got that, you remember that K1 FTP email from the embassy. You got to print it, and you got to get it to your beneficiary. He can print it himself in Dubai, but you need to get it to him if he can't do that. You got it, Dina? It's not difficult. Come on, Dina, you can do this. You paid the visa fee. You scheduled the visa interview. Now, remember, the biometrics fee is included in the price of the visa fee. So don't be looking around trying to pay for the biometrics. It's all included. Well, it is in Colombia anyway. The Venus, is it okay to use a different email on the DS-160 and account for booking appointment? Sure. Immigration don't care what email address you use, just so long as the immigration can contact you and get in touch with you via email. All right. John Wicks, wonderful. Thanks. That's good. Susie Gaudames, what's going on? Hello, Diego. Hi, Susie. How are you? How's everything in your neck of the woods, Susie? Crizia Benegas. Hello, Diego. The embassy sends the beneficiaries a letter from the instructions. That's the K3, K4 packet email. And it goes to the sponsor. The sponsor should get it. And also the beneficiary. What if my beneficiary doesn't have a PO box? No. It's all done by email. You don't get any letters in the mail, okay, with the list of instructions. The K1 visa list of instructions, the embassy will email you, Mr. Sponsor, the K1 FTP email, welcome letter. And the instructions comes in the K3, K4 packet email. So you got to wait for the K3, K4 packet email. That email gives you clear-cut instructions on how to process and pay for the K1 visa. Okay, Krizia, you got it? You got that? It's an email. It's not a letter. It's an email. Jacob Myers, Diego, it's 20 degrees outside. Well, it sucks to be you. It's, let me see here. It's about 65 degrees here in Bogota, Colombia. So that's why I don't live in Colorado. You know, if I want to be freezing and you know, if I go outside to check the mail, I got to take a blowtorch with me to open my mailbox. That ain't happening. But you like it in Colorado. I'm happy for you. Make sure you prepare your husband for life in freezing cold weather, because he's in Philippines where it's nice and warm. Francois Livingston. Good evening, Diego and Karina. How are you and Karina doing? This live chat was a surprise. Yeah, I had some people yesterday that I didn't get to answer all their questions. So I said, yeah, what the heck? I'll do another live stream tonight to help you guys out, to help pull you over the finish line, to get you through this so you don't stress it, so you can go to bed and put your head on a pillow and go to sleep with a peaceful mind, because I've answered your questions and you understand the process. So, but Karina, she's with her family. You know, her family's all over South America, Brazil, Venezuela, here, in Bogota, in Colombia. Her family's everywhere. So she's doing the round, making the rounds. Dina, they just need a copy of the interview paper and a copy of the confirmation number on the DS-160. That's right. Look at the DS-160 when you printed it, okay? There's a confirmation number page on it. There's a confirmation number on that DS-160. Look for that. You got to get that to your to your beneficiary. He needs to bring that to the visa interview. Okay, that's very important. Dina Ali, I haven't got any email from the embassy. Well, you got all this information you told me so far. Did you get the packet 3, packet 4 list of instructions on what to do? You must have, because you scheduled the visa interview. You got the DS-160 submitted to the embassy in Dubai. You got the biometrics done, right? Sounds to me like you're good. But you got to get that DS-160 confirmation page to your beneficiary. Susie, I'm still waiting for the interview in Nigeria. Yeah, they're processing K1 visas in Lagos. They're doing it. Susie, they're doing it. I've seen them. Jennifer Quesito. Hey, Diego, I had to reschedule my consular appointment in Colombia. Okay. Diego, do you know if I will need to go to the SC so they can put a new barcode with the new appointment? That's a good question. So when you rescheduled your consular appointment, did you I don't think so. I don't think so. Just bring the DS-160 with you, okay? Bring that DS-160 with you where you've submitted the DS-160, and I don't think you have to redo the ASC. Honestly, I don't think so. All you did was change the day. That's all you did. So I think you're good, okay? Krizia Benigas, thank you so much. No problem, Krizia. Let me see what we got. Julian ALO. Hi, Diego. I want to know if USCIS are working cases which month? February 2023. Because we're still waiting. You're in March. Okay, you still got a way to go. Next month. USCIS Service Center in California is processing February 2023 K1 visas. You're in March, so another month, and you should be in that time frame. Let me see. Carlos Zambrana. Hi, Mr. Diego, could you please do a video of what to do after getting married? Well, I could do that. Sure. I could make a video about what to do after you get married. You know, that's no problem. Change your status, steps, timeframes, and all. I've made those videos, Carlos. I've made those videos. I've made 700 videos. If you page through all the videos, you'll look for the adjustment of status to green card. Look for that video. But I can make a new one. But remember, right now I'm up in the Colombian mountains of the Andes, and technically it's a little more harder for me to put things together. You know, I could make it, but I want to make it a professional job so you guys will enjoy it. So we'll be in Florida hopefully next month. But if you look through my videos that I made for you, these are your videos, you can probably find the one I made about the adjustment of status paperwork. Dina, so how did I schedule and pay without no email from the embassy? Well, you must have got something from the embassy because you clicked on a link and then you went into the real docs, right? Into US docs, and you paid the visa fee. Obviously, you're going through a different process for Dubai. But you're good. Julian, ALO, for us in Africa, we always suffer to find you live. Why? It's 3 a.m. this side. Well, it's what? I don't even know what time it is here. Perhaps people are sleeping, but sometimes accidentally I find you live and ask my questions. Okay, Julian, ALO. So it's 3 o'clock in the morning in Africa. So what if I do a live stream at like 9 o'clock in the morning, Colombian time? Maybe that'll be a better time for you, for people in Africa, our friends. We love our friends in Africa. We love you guys. We don't want you to be losing sleep over a live stream. So I can do an early live stream, maybe tomorrow, or when Karina gets here. Wait till Karina gets back from her travels. John Wick, Diego, do you know the email address I'll use to send the welcome letter? It's going to come from the embassy. I want to search my email to see if I received something. Look for the embassy email. Once the NVC sends your case to the embassy, and the embassy sends you the packet 3, packet 4 email, the MVC is done with you. They're done. They will not help you anymore. USCIS is done with you. MVC is done with you. It's all in the hands of the embassy. BYE, Diego, I take my exams, but no, my vaccine is any problem with this. You took your exams, but no vaccines. If you don't have any vaccinations, when you get to the United States of America, guess what? You're going to be loaded up on vaccinations because you're not going to get your green card without vaccinations. So the civil surgeon, you're going to repeat your medical exam in the USA, get a new medical exam done by a civil surgeon who's authorized by the State Department to do medical exams, and ask the civil surgeon, what vaccinations do I need? And he's going to give you a list, or she, and then you're going to go to a pharmacy or your doctor, and you're going to get pumped full of stuff. And then when you have completed all your vaccinations, then you adjust your status for green card. But do not apply for your green card, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, without a medical exam included and the vaccinations come up to date, including COVID. And don't try and get a religious exemption, because immigration ain't going to play it. If you file a religious exemption from the COVID vaccination, the immigration is going to say your visa is denied. Have a nice day. Go back to your home country. Okay? Get it done. Fazak, just checked updates. They have already reviewed over 400 cases for March. I haven't seen any for March. There are a large amount of RFEs for February, several hundred. RFE means request for further evidence. You forgot something. You weren't paying attention when you put your K1 visa package together. Don't feel bad. I got an RFE on my first K1 visa back in 2016. But you got to be paying attention to what you're doing, pay close attention, and make sure you don't get an RFE. So if there are a lot of RFEs for February, several hundred, then people are not paying attention. They're not watching this channel, apparently, because I'm going to help you get through it without an RFE. But I have not seen any March K1 visas getting adjudicated. But if you've seen 400, that's great. I'll investigate it. Jody Fairfield, hi Diego. Hope you and Karina are doing great. We are good. I did a voicemail chat with Karina. She's doing fantastic. She's happy to be with her family. And she knows she's not going to see him for maybe 3 or 4 years once she gets to the United States. We are not going to leave the United States of America until Karina is a U.S. citizen, has been assimilated, and has become a good old Florida girl, if you know what I'm saying. She's going to transform from a Venezuelan Colombian into a Florida American. She get our U.S. passport, then we're going to travel. Francois Livingston, how do people are finding out what month USCIS is working on? They're going to the USCIS website. You can check the status in there, but I don't believe half the things they say. I don't believe what the MVC timeline is. I don't believe it. So, I go by evidence. When I see somebody with an approved K1 visa for March, and they send me an email on YouTube, or they send me their timeline, okay, that's what I go by. I don't go by what the U.S. government says, unfortunately. Dina, true. Thank you, Diego. You're the best. God bless you and Karina. Dina, we're going to get you this visa. We're going to help you. We got you out of the embassy in Baghdad, right? We got you into Dubai. Now you got a visa interview scheduled. You paid the visa fee. Everything's good to go. You just got to get the documents to your beneficiary so we can get them to America and start your lives together. And then, hopefully he doesn't forget about his home country in Iraq, but he needs to assimilate and become an American, right? Help him become an American. Huda. Hi, Diego. It's Huda. What's going on, Huda? and my fiance from Lebanon, beautiful Lebanon. They're having a little bit of political instability in Lebanon right now. Okay, they're very close to that war zone. Okay, so they're having a little bit of instability. The embassy closed. Yes, I remember. Great news. It reopened. Fantastic. And my fiance has his interview November 17th. Fantastic. So the U.S. Embassy in Beirut, the American officials came out from under their desks. They dusted themselves off. They said, why are we scared? What are we scared of? This is ridiculous, closing the embassy down, right? Because Lebanon's a beautiful country, right on the Mediterranean Sea, beautiful restaurants, fantastic place. Fantastic news. And yeah, I remember you being in Lebanon. Of the Venus, if we had cultural outfits in our engagement ceremony but did not submit pictures to SIS, we have deleted the pictures from social media. Delete them from social media. Delete them from Instagram. Delete them from Facebook. Those pictures are private between you and your family. If immigration see you in cultural custom clothes at an engagement party, they might think you got married, and they will block your visa at the K1 visa interview. So don't post that stuff on Facebook. Don't post anything on Instagram that would give the perception of getting married. Don't do it. Immigration will find out. Do not bring that information to the visa interview. Venus, listen up, pay attention. Do not bring any pictures to the interview that show an engagement ceremony in cultural outfits. That is a no, no, no. I'm going to save you a big headache. Okay? So tell me, Venus, tell me in the remarks, say, I'm not going to bring those pictures to the visa interview. Got to listen to me. Dina, I got an RFE and responded to it after 10 days and got approved. There you go. So it was a very minor thing. And that's before you knew me. Well, that's okay, Dina. We have got you on the road to success. You're almost there. You're at the finish line, okay? BYE, I have my COVID vaccines, but I understand you need the others ones when I take the residency, right? Okay, let me say this again, BYE. You have a list, there are a list of vaccinations that you must get. Now, I'm not an immigration attorney. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm not a doctor, okay? I'm a real estate agent. I sell houses. That's what I do. But right now I'm in Bogota, Colombia, so I'm not selling any houses. I'm just hanging out with trying to get this visa wrapped up with Karina, not doing. I sell houses, okay? But you got to get the vaccinations. If you don't get them, you're not going to get your green card. Let's see. Mr. Najas, my friend, Mr. Najas. Hi, Diego. How's everything? We are doing fantastic. Karina's with her family, and I'm here hanging out doing a surprise live stream. So you guys aren't bored, because I know you will get. I got a lot of questions yesterday. I didn't get to answer them all. So how's everything, Mr. Najas? We are good. We hope you are doing well too. Huda, thank you, Diego. Yes, the interview was great, and he got the visa. He booked the ticket. He's coming next week to the USA. Fantastic. So what he needs to do is go to a fantastic Lebanese restaurant right there on the Mediterranean Sea. Go to one of them fantastic Lebanese restaurants, have a big dinner in celebration, and say goodbye to Lebanon. Michael Q, my first NOA 1 is May 11th, 2023. If USCIS is processing cases in February, when do you think I'll get to NOA 2? Let's see, you're May of 2023. So I would say probably by February of 2024. February 2024, you should hear from immigration, Michael Q, for your NOA 2 letter. Dina, Ali, I'm glad I find your channel. This is your channel, guys. Karina and I were walking around Villa de Leyva in Colombia last year. I wasn't working. I was in Colombia on a visa for a 12-month visa. And Karina said, you got to do something, Diego. You can't be sitting around doing nothing. Why don't you put a YouTube channel together and help other people get through this K1 visa? She said, you've done this thing like 3 times, twice on a K1, once on a spousal. Put a channel together and help people. Here we are. Here we are. And Dean is asking Huda what questions they were asking him at the visa interview in Lebanon. Mr. Nahas, so Diego, do you recommend us not to bring photos of our engagement party? Mr. Nahas, if you had an engagement party in regular clothes with family members, not in cultural clothes, you're from Iraq, right? Aren't you from Iraq? If you were wearing just regular street clothes, like you're going to a regular party, like somebody's birthday party or whatever, those pictures, yeah, you're from Iraq. Did you wear Iraqi cultural clothes? Did you wear like a Muslim attire? You know, I don't know exactly how to describe it. But if your pictures at your engagement party will give the perception of a wedding, don't bring those pictures to the visa interview. You know, and I know you had an engagement party. Immigration, they don't know. So they're going to be very suspicious of it. So if you had an engagement party in regular street clothes with your friends and family, perfectly good. Make sure you put on the picture, these are the people, this is the date, this is the location, and this was the event. This was an event. Dina, I was wearing outgoing clothes, regular clothes. You're good. Regular clothes. You got to have an engagement party, guys. Now, to the folks who are in India, we love you guys. But in India, you don't celebrate an engagement. You don't exchange rings. But you're not immigrating to India. You're immigrating to America. And in America, we do. So if you're in India, if you're in Mumbai, New Delhi, wherever, beautiful country, and you're engaged to an American, have an engagement party in regular street clothes, not Indian attire. Get an engagement, Mr. Sponsor, Miss Sponsor, buy an engagement ring for your prometida in India, do a ring exchange, take pictures, and include it in your K1 visa package. Okay? That way, when you go to the visa interview in Mumbai at the consulate, the immigration officer doesn't ask you, are you guys engaged? Did you guys have an engagement ceremony? Well, in India, we don't do that. Well, you're not immigrating to India. You're immigrating to the United States. Did you have an engagement party? No, we didn't. Did you get an engagement ring? No, I don't. Ah, big red flag. So you're not engaged, but you want to come to America and get married? Good chance you're going to get a 221G administrative hold until you can cough up an engagement ring and an engagement ceremony. Mr. Nahash, you're good, my friend. Z080838. Diego, thanks for your service. BZ, Bravo Zulu. BZ means Bravo Zulu, guys. Thank you for that positive post there, Z. Who does talking to Dina? And guess what? GS is on the live stream. GS is from England, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Hey, Diego, may I offer our congratulations from the United Kingdom? That's what UK means. United Kingdom. United Kingdom, which is England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. That's the United Kingdom. What is the process of K1 withdrawal if the timing isn't right when granted visa interview? Can we reapply? It's not a good idea. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's GS. If you have submitted a K1 visa package, this process takes what? 2 years? 19 months? 15 months? If you withdraw it, you're going to be waiting another 2 years. Don't do it. Make the timing right. You're in love with your sponsor, American citizen, living in Arizona, right? Yeah, you can reapply, but you're going to be back in the line for 2 years. Then you're going to have to write a letter of explanation. Why did you withdraw it? Well, the timing wasn't right. Immigration's going to go, okay, they're going to throw your K1 visa to the back of the line. You'd be lucky if it takes 2.5 years to get done. Okay, don't do that. Now, hold on a second, guys. Tokyo the cat wants to come in. I put him outside because he keeps chewing on the lines. But he's crying and he's crying and he wants to come in. I'll be 1 second. Okay, I was 2 seconds. Tokyo is in the house. Don't touch the lines. Okay, Francois, can you have an engagement ring without a party? Yes. Kind of hard when his family is in Morocco. My family is here in the USA. Plus airfares are an arm and a leg. Francois, the K1 visa process is a long process and it ain't cheap. It's muy caro, right? It's muy caro. It's very expensive. To strengthen the visa package, you gotta have an engagement party of some kind, okay? Now, what you could do is get the engagement ring. That's good. And when you go back to Morocco for the next time, when his K1 visa gets approved, then you're going to go to Morocco, right? And bring all the documents, the I-134, the tax return, the tax transcripts, the pay stubs, the letter from the employer, the bank statements. You're going to bring all that stuff with you, right? To Morocco. Have an engagement party when you're there. Take lots of pictures. Print the pictures in Morocco. And then you're good to go. You can do it. You can do it that way. Just an opinion. Just an idea. I'm just trying to save you a headache. And yeah, plane tickets are expensive. I've been to Colombia. You know, I went through this K1 visa once before in 2016, and then I've been through it the second time here with beautiful Karina. I've been to Colombia 25 times at least. They know me they know my name at immigration in Colombia. Oh, Diego, back again. Are you back again? Give me your passport. 90 days. GS, may I offer congratulations? Thank you, GS. GS, stay in the K1 visa process. Don't withdraw it. Don't do that. Don't irritate immigration. Don't do it. Make it right. Make it happen. GS, I'm sure I'm right here. My fiance is just landing back in Arizona after a week together. That's great, GS. But here's the thing. Don't submit and withdraw and submit and resubmit, withdraw. Immigration get irritated when you do it. Submit the K1 visa, wait out the process, get it done, and get it over with. Okay? Renika Kendall, hey Diego, just got my NOA 2. Very good. When do you think I'll get to the MVC? In about 3 months. 3 months. It took 119 days, okay, from our NOA 2 letter for the MVC welcome letter, which is the K1 FTP letter. And you got to print that email for the medical exam. Okay, you got to print it. Let me see. GS, thank you, Diego. You're welcome, GS. Now, GS, don't be dillying around with this K1 visa. Get it done. Get your sponsor to submit it. Get it over with. Get married. Start your life in Arizona. Okay? Have your last meal of fish and chips and your last meal of pickled onion. Get a big plate of cod. And I tell you, fish and chips are expensive in England. In London, I was taking a look at fish and chip shops in London. It's like $60 for 2 people for a plate of fish and chips. That's insane. That's crazy. You know, haddock is even more expensive than cod. Francois Livingston, he is not in Morocco. He's in Abu Dhabi. Okay, that's good. Wherever he is, you're going to have an engagement ceremony. You're going to get an engagement ring, and you're going to bring the engagement ceremony photos to the visa interview. Just in case you get that question. Is your relationship real? Did you have an engagement ceremony? Not in cultural clothes, not in Abu Dhabi clothes or Moroccan clothes, in regular street clothes. There was a person in India. The immigration officer said, to this person at the visa interview, did you have an engagement ceremony? No. Do you have an engagement ring? No. Well, then you're going to have to cough up some real solid evidence of your relationship, because then his immigration visa went on hold, 221G. Z, NOA2 received November 14th. Good. From my fiance in the Philippines. Fantastic. What is the next step? How long will it take? The next step is you're going to wait for the NVC welcome letter. It's called the K1 FTP email. And you're going to get it from the embassy in Manila. Print that email. You're going to need it for the medical exam in Manila at St. Luke's Extension. So right now, you're going to wait about 3 months for your NVC welcome letter. You must, after 2 months, send an inquiry to the NVC. Because if you look on the front of your NOA2 letter, Z, on the front of your NOA2 letter, there's a 4-month expiration date on your NOA2 visa, right? Send an inquiry after 2 months. That will automatically extend your NOA2 letter indefinitely until you can get your visa interview scheduled in Manila. And now be prepared in Manila for the doctor to give a sputum test. The Philippines has been asking for sputum tests, the embassy in Manila. GS, we have had 6 visits in person. Wow, that's good. Costing a total of $16,000 in airfare. Engagement ring is on hold. Well, if you can produce 6 boarding pass trips there and back, then that will be probably more sufficient on putting an engagement ring on hold. But you got to have an engagement ceremony, okay? You got to have something like that. Jessie Lee, hi Diego, my fiance told me she doesn't have a stamp that she returned from Colombia to Venezuela. Do you know how picky the embassy will be about her traveling back and forth without it? Traveling back and forth between Colombia and Venezuela? If you don't have a visa stamp for Colombia in your passport, in your Venezuelan passport, then she entered illegally into Venezuela. Okay, there's ways you can get into Venezuela without going through immigration. Okay, and there's no way, then they don't stamp it. But the question is, do you know how picky the embassy will be asking about her traveling back and forth without it? Well, the immigration is already going to know. She crossed the border illegally. Okay? So she's from Venezuela, living in Colombia, right? Then you got to get a police certificate from Colombia. That's all you need. As long as she didn't live in Colombia, in Venezuela a long time, there's no evidence of her living in Venezuela longer than 6 months, she won't need a police certificate from Venezuela. But I don't know, the U.S. Embassy probably couldn't care. I don't know how picky they're going to be. They're going to ask you went to Venezuela? Yeah, I was there. Where's the stamp that says you came in and out? The Colombian police, the Interpol, when Karina filed for her Interpol police certificate, they asked for a photo of her immigration stamp leaving and entering Colombia and Venezuela. Well, Karina can't produce that because her passport is in the embassy in the United States of America, Bogota. A big rubber band around it waiting for this police certificate. So she wrote a letter of explanation saying, I don't have the stamp in my passport because my passport is in the embassy. So we'll see what happens. But I don't know what to tell you, Jessie Lee. I don't know what to tell you. Let's see how it plays out at the end of the interview, for the visa interview. Okay? Francois Livingston, airfare to Abu Dhabi cost me $1,600. Woof. It's a lot of money when I went in February. Okay? Hotel in Abu Dhabi was $1,300. So what's we got? $2,900 for one trip. $3,000 plus food and trips and stuff to do, right? Ooh-wee, Francois, you're gonna make sure you keep all that evidence, the hotel bills, the boarding passes, keep all that stuff. Renika Kendall, thanks, Diego. GS, sure, it's expensive. Those look like a bag of Big Mac fries from McDonald's. Those look, GS, you posted a picture of Big Mac fries from McDonald's and a haddock. Now, I heard Now I haven't eaten. When I go to McDonald's, I eat the breakfast, the big breakfast. It's cheap, but then I look up at the board and I want to buy a Big Mac, and it's like $6, $7, $8. $8 for a Big Mac. I remember when they were $1.50. So I no longer purchase any hamburgers from McDonald's as much as I love them, but I do eat the big breakfast because that price is reasonable. And Hardee's has a great price on their breakfast too. It's about 80 cents cheaper than the McDonald's big breakfast. So I bounce between Hardee's and McDonald's when I'm not in Colombia for my breakfast if I don't feel like cooking. Play. Tomorrow the file will go to the embassy. How long before we get the packet 3? Play. Which embassy? Which country? It took us 19 days. This is Colombia. Jessie Lee, she also said she has a migrant papers to live in Colombia, but is in Venezuela. So Jessie Lee, your prometida has migrant papers to live in Colombia. You're going to need those papers. You need to get them. Got to go get on a bus from Bogota to Cucuta. Get on a bus from Cucuta to Caracas. Get off the bus in Caracas. It's about a 25-hour bus journey. Go get those papers. Jessie Lee, I'm panicking. She has made this more difficult. No, it's not difficult. It's just paperwork, man. It's a paperwork drill. That's all it is. It's paperwork. Get the paperwork. Get it in order. Get the visa. Don't panic. It's not difficult. Karina had to go through the same old stuff, plus more. I'm not even going to go into, okay? But get it. But you got to get the paperwork. Don't panic. Keep a calm head. Keep a level head. Francois Livingston, will be having dinner together at a fancy restaurant. Be good. Yeah, absolutely. Keep the receipts. Get some pictures. Karina and I, we've eaten probably in every restaurant in Bogota. I mean, we've been dating for years. We hit different restaurants. When she gets back from her family visits, we're going to go hit some more restaurants because of all the super chats that you guys sent us. You know, I had to get over this flu, this Bogota gripe, oof, and mountain sickness. It was horrible, but I can speak. Hope you can understand what I'm saying. Let me see. Jessie Lee, you got to relax, man. Get those migrant papers. You got to get them. It's not expensive to catch a bus from Bogota to Caracas. It's a long journey. Your prometida is going to have a sore backside, but it's not expensive. It's very inexpensive. Get the papers. You might need an apostille. Does she have any kids that were born in Venezuela? You're going to have to get an apostille on the birth certificate. Maybe. I think so. Play. How long does it take for packet 3 to get to us? Depends on the embassy. Depends on how busy the embassy is. Let me see here. Jin Ganesh. Hi, Diego. Is there any way I can schedule the interview without waiting on the embassy? No. You got to wait for the embassy to be sending you a packet 3, packet 4, giving you information on how to schedule the visa interview, on how to pay the visa fee, which includes the biometrics. The packet 3, packet 4 email is what you guys are waiting for once you get ready status. It's an email from the embassy. It tells you how to process the visa. Let me see. Z, 3 months for an NVC welcome letter seems very long. I waited almost 4 months waiting on the embassy. Let me see. Long way to expedite. Is there any way to expedite? No. You're in line with everybody else. Unless you're a beneficiary, okay, unless you, the sponsor, are in the military. If you're in the U.S. military and you're fixing to deploy somewhere on short term, then you can file an expedite. But you don't get any expedite. You wait the same time frame as everybody else. Sorry to say that. It sucks, but it's the process. So don't even think about an expedite. What is the sputum? The sputum test is for a test for tuberculosis, and they're being conducted at the embassy at the doctor's office in Manila, St. Luke's Extension. They're doing a lot of sputum tests for tuberculosis. So make sure that your prometida, your fiance in the Philippines, has no cold, no flu, has a clear set of lungs, okay, with no little spots, which could be a flu bug or a cold. Make sure her lungs are clean, okay, so you can avoid that sputum test. Play in Ethiopia, okay, Ethiopia, beautiful country, we love it, and we love our friends there. Jessie Lee, she is in Venezuela now. Okay, she's in Venezuela now. Here's what she needs to do. She needs to get those Colombian migration documents. Okay. She needs to get her birth certificate, her original birth certificate. She doesn't have to apostille that. Okay. The only time you probably need an apostille is if let's suppose she had a husband in the past and he died and she has a child and you're going to bring the child to the United States, then you're going to have to get an apostille on the death certificate for the father. That would be the only time. But she needs to get these documents already. Play, is the welcome letter the same as the KFTP? Yes. JS, is Karina traveling now? No, she's with her family. She's hanging out with her younger brother and her aunts. JS, got my interview next Monday. Diego, almost there. Almost there, man. How was the biometrics experience for you in Bogota? Was it easy for Karina? Did they ask anything? No, they don't ask any questions. The biometrics is included in the K1 visa fee. When you pay the K1 visa, the biometrics is included. You got to bring the DS-160 confirmation page and your passport to the biometrics in Bogota. You get in line. You got your passport in your hand with your DS-160 folded into the passport. You get in line, you get in line, you get in line, and then you go and you get your picture taken and the fingerprints, and there's no questions. Now, I got basically tossed out of the biometrics because I went in with Karina. I made it all through the line. I made it right through the gate, through the security gate. And the security guy says, "What are you doing here?" I said, "I'm with my prometida. I speak Spanish." I said, "I'm with my fiancée getting her biometrics. You can't be here. You're the sponsor. You got to wait outside." I said, "Okay, dude, I got no problem with that." So I went and sat on a chair in the Australian immigration section where Colombians are getting visas to go to Australia. There's a big Australian flag over here. And I sat down with hanging out, and I was there for about 2 minutes. And then the security guy comes over to me and says, why are you sitting here? Are you getting a visa for Australia? I said, "Look, my fiance is in that room getting her photos taken and her fingerprints. She's going to be 3 more minutes, and then we're out of here." "Well, you can't wait here." "Well, I've been here. I'm still here, and I'm not getting up." And then Karina at that moment came out waving at me. "Hey, hola, mi amor, mi amor." She was done. So I looked at the security guy. I said, "Okay, dude, that's my prometida. We're out of here." And we ate. In the biometrics, it's like in I don't know, like a I can't describe it. It's like in an office complex. But next to the biometrics were these great restaurants. And Korean and we ate at the Crepes and Waffles, a fantastic breakfast. So that was my experience in biometrics. You can bring your beneficiary there, but just don't go in. Just wait for her outside. Well, you're going to get yelled at. But I'm an old retired Navy senior chief, and I yelled back pretty good. And I was yelling back in Spanish, very respectfully, telling the guy to get off his high horse. And then he told me I got to take my hat off. And there was a guy working doing construction in the office with this hat on. I said, "Well, you go tell him to take his hat off too." And he looked at the guy, and he looked at me, and he looked at the guy, and he said, "You need to take your hat off." I'm like, "Whatever." I took my hat off, I stuck it down my pants. That was our biometrics experience. It's easy. It's simple. Francois, my phone turned off and I missed your answer to my question. What was the question, Francois? It's like way up in the live stream. Ask me again. Jin Ganesh, thank you, Diego. I'm waiting 2 months on the packet 3. 4, do you have an estimate for Guyana? Yeah, it's about 3 months. Blush, Diego, when do you think you and Karina will be traveling back to the States? Hopefully in December. We're just waiting on his Interpol certificate. And the Tokyo, get down. Tokyo, our cat loves to explore. He's very inquisitive. And he sticks his nose everywhere where it shouldn't be, including the camera, the wires, the connection, the mouse, and everything. So he's going, go outside and play. Go play outside. Go on. So, Jessie Lee, she's in Venezuela. Tokyo. All right. You want to sniff? You gonna give me a kiss? Besos? Besos? Let me get back to the questions. Rephrase the question, Francois. Blush, Diego, when do you think Karina will be traveling? December. Then play. Then the FTP is taking 28 days now. Things are speeding up. That's good. That's good news. Craig Williams, hi Diego. My Thai fiance got her visa approval. Good news. Now waiting for the status to change to issued. Okay. The waiting and the wondering continues. The waiting, the waiting, the waiting. And Miss Betty, Miss Entertainment, I did schedule without getting the email from the embassy. Well, you may want to make sure that visa interview is good. Okay? I think you'll be okay. The Venus, what are some reasons for a 221G apart from missing documents? Security checks. If you're in a country that's deemed as politically unstable or is deemed as political problems for the United States, like for example, let's say you're from Iran, well, we got no problem in America with the Iranian people. We love you guys. The Iranians are fantastic people. They want to be free just like we are free in America. But if you're an Iranian and you go, let's say to Turkey for your K1 visa interview, because we don't have a consulate in Tehran anymore, we don't have an embassy in Tehran, there's a good chance that your beneficiary will go into a 221G security check, which could take a couple of weeks. Iranians, primarily, we got no political stability with Iran. We got no diplomatic ties with that country. Let's see. I don't want to miss anybody's question. Blush, my fiance got her visa October 31, but we want to travel back in December. Is that okay? Is that fine? Perfectly fine. The visa is good for 6 months from the date of the medical exam. Francois Livingston, question, will having dinner at a restaurant be sufficient? Yeah, that's good. We could get a cake saying happy engagement. Do it. Take a picture of the cake. Take a picture of the cake. Happy engagement. And get people in the picture with you, not just you by yourself. You got to have friends, family, somebody other than yourself and your beneficiary. Play. Did you go to the interview? Zahir Ahmed. I am from Pakistan. We love everybody in Pakistan. After NOA2, how much time required for MVC? 3 months from NOA2 to MVC. And then about 3 weeks for in-transit ready, maybe quicker. And then about 4 weeks after that for your visa interview in Islamabad, in beautiful Pakistan. Okay, guys, come on, throw some questions at me. Try and trip me up with a question that you think I don't know. Because there's not too much I don't know about this K1 visa process. There's not much I don't know. The biggest questions I get are how long, how much time? Depends on the embassy. The embassy in Bogota in July 2023 were busy. They shut down. They didn't shut down processing K1 visas. They just blocked the embassy from sending them anymore. Play, what should we do to prepare for the interview? Well, I would go over practice questions. I made some videos about practice questions for different embassies around the world for the visa interview. And when you go to the visa interview, dress business casual. Dress nicely. Don't dress like a slob. Don't wear jeans and a t-shirt. Wear nice clothes. Wear pants. Wear a nice shirt. Wear a jacket. You're going to an interview for a job. Okay? Just pretend you're going to an interview for a job. There were people at the U.S. Embassy in Bogota lined up for tourist visas that were dressed like slobs. Torn jeans. I guess that's the style, right? A pair of jeans with all their leggings cut out. Just dressed unkept. Immigration officer looked at him. Denied. 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 We don't want you in America dressed like that. I'm serious. Take it seriously, guys. The way you dress, the way you present yourself, and your strength of character plays a big part in the visa interview. Karina is a tax accountant. She went in business attire. She looked like she was going to get a job, like on the stock exchange in New York. The cat, I tell you, he's going into the bedroom if he does that again. But he likes to play. You got to dress business casual, okay? You got to have a strong, don't be fearful. Be smiling, be professional. It's a job interview, guys. I felt sorry for some of these people at the embassy interview in Bogota. Well, I wasn't there. Karina was there. And she was telling me that these folks were getting denied. And she said they were dressed like bums. And then, you can't do that. Let's see. Z, you are very knowledgeable. How do you know so much about the visa process? I've been through this K1 visa process twice, and I went through a spousal visa. This is my third rodeo, plus a K2. So I have got 8.5 years of experience. I went through it. I've been going through this thing for 8.5 years. My first K1 visa didn't work out. It wasn't denied. She was approved. She came to the USA. She didn't like it. She didn't like the food, didn't like Walmart, didn't want to learn how to drive, didn't want to learn how to speak English, didn't like the clothes, missed her mom, missed her brother, missed her friends. And every day was a pity party. And I didn't have time for a pity party. I needed for her to be happy. So I took her back home. Got divorced. Then she changed her mind. She said she wanted to come back. Okay. I filed a spousal visa. A year and a half later, got it approved during COVID. Then I called her up and said, I got your visa approved. Oh, no, I decided to stay in Colombia. Seriously. Bye. I'm done at that point. So I got all this knowledge up here on how to do this. I know how to do this. I've been through it so many times. It's unbelievable. But I'm here to help you. Bahu, Diego, got my visa from Mumbai. Good job. Very good, Bahu. Zahir, Ahmed, sir, one more question. Okay, Lieutenant Colombo. In Muslim family, we cannot meet fiance. We mentioned that in the form. It's a prop during the evidence. Okay. Zahir Ahmed, let me explain to you. You have to meet your fiance face-to-face, in person, a minimum of one time within 2 years before you file the K1 visa to the Dallas lockbox. If you have not met your fiance face-to-face, in person, your K1 visa is going to be denied. You can ask for a religious exemption. The chances of you getting a religious exemption is 0. Immigration are not going to give you a visa if you haven't met your fiance in person. You cannot meet your fiance because you're a Muslim family. With immigration, that's not going to be an excuse. There are lots of Muslim families that have met each other in person, all around America, all around the world. They got married, came to the United States. They met face to face. This is the channel where I'm going to tell you the way it is, the truth. But it's good. There's no sugar on top of this cake. Okay? So, your question is, we're going to face a problem during the evidence? If you have not met Zahir Ahmed, if you haven't met your beneficiary face-to-face in person within 2 years, your K1 visa is going to be denied. Craig Williams. Oh, here's a trick question. Got a 221G in Thailand, no documents required and no reason. So a 221G is somewhat a mystery sometimes. If you don't have a reason, if immigration don't give you a reason, it's a security check. That's all. Miss Betty, I think I missed your answer to my question. Z, wow. Paya, India. Hi, Diego. Hope you get well soon. I'm getting there. My voice is a little croaky. Please make a video, K1 visa, tricky question and answers. Okay, I can do that. That's a good idea. Play, what total should we put in the total income for financial on I-134? You put in the income is your total income for 2022. How much money did you make in 2022? Total income, that's what goes in there. The Venus. Do we have to carry chats and call logs to the interview, or pictures and flight tickets? Bring all that stuff. You don't know if now Karina, they didn't ask her for chat logs. My K1 visa was so strong, it was this big. The K1 visa for Karina was so strong, I had a year's worth of chat in there. So they didn't even ask her for chat logs because I was in Colombia anyway with her for 10 or 11 months. But bring them anyway, just in case. Bring them in. You don't know. They might ask you for it. Brian Gonzalez, Diego, I reached out to the NVC and they said my case is with the Mexican consulate for the NVC. I'm in ready. Okay, so now you're going to wait. Now, Brian, you are waiting for the K1 FTP email and then the K3, K4 email packet. God's Power Thomas, Mr. Diego, my status was last updated August 4th. Okay, no receipt to go pay for my visa. Okay, August is a long time. You need to be sending emails to the embassy doing a status check, asking what's going on. Z, do you know how long the Philippines visa process is taking for interview, medical, and all requirement in Manila? It's taking about 18 months from NOA1 to visa in the passport, assuming that there's no sputum test. If your beneficiary gets hit with a sputum test, that adds about 8 weeks to the processing time. If she gets told she needs a sputum test, you're going to have to wait about 8 weeks for the results of the sputum test at the visa interview, or so it could add about 8 weeks to the process. Be prepared for that, okay? But that's only in Manila, in the Philippines. Okay, guys, I've been talking for over an hour. I'm going to do another live stream tomorrow. What's tomorrow? I don't even know what day it is today. But tomorrow I'll do a live stream. Today's Sunday. Tomorrow, Monday night, I'll be back with a live stream to continue our chat. I hope you guys enjoyed the surprise live stream. Sorry about the cat totally just destroying all my equipment, basically. But I got it put back together quickly. I should never have let him in here. But, he's a good cat. He's a little baby. He's a year old. He's a kid. So he's just having fun. See you guys tomorrow at 7 p.m. Bogota, Colombia time. And thanks for watching.